What's up, everyone? All right, so I'm just getting back from lunch. I had an awesome morning of trading. It's time to record episode 4 of the Small Account Challenge. Now, this episode is gonna be pretty helpful for you guys because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down the tools and the software that I'm gonna be using for the Small Account Challenge. What I'm gonna use for charting, what I'm gonna use for trading, what I'm gonna use for finding stocks to trade. And what I've also done for you guys is I've put together a video on how to set up your first trading station. Now, you guys might think, well, trading station, it's gotta be complicated. I'm gonna have to have 5-6 monitors. That's not the case. I set up a basic trading station video for you guys. And what I want you to do is check out the link in the description. Check that link out. Jump over to our website and you'll be able to download not only the video on how to set up a basic trading station, because you don't need all of that. You're also gonna be able to download all of the layouts that I use for the software that I'm about to walk you guys through. And what we're also gonna do today, which will be kind of fun, is we're gonna put some stuff for sale on Craigslist. Because when I was first getting started trading, I needed to raise that startup capital. And so one of the ways that I raised it was literally by scouring my barn for things that I didn't need that I could sell on Craigslist to generate a little bit of startup capital. So that's the plan for today. Let's jump into it. All right, so what I wanna do is I'm gonna unplug all of this stuff. I'm gonna turn this stuff off because this is not required for day trading, so it's certainly not required for trading with a small account. So this laptop, it's gotta go. That monitor over there, don't need it. The one on the bottom, already unplugged it. So we're gonna simplify things a little bit, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually break out the basis of my traveling trading station, which consists of these 2 USB monitors. See how skinny these things are? These things are tiny. So I can pop 2 of these right in my backpack, and they travel with me wherever I go. It's my portable cash machine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop these on and I'm gonna break this down, the details of this kind of layout in the trading station video, so you guys can click the link below to see that. So I'm gonna use this clip right here, and this clip is gonna attach to one side of the monitor, just like this. Okay, so now I've got the clip attached like that, and now I'm going to attach this to the side of my laptop. And now just like that, I have a laptop that has what appears to be an extra wing, a third display. So that's what that looks like right there. So now we've got this extra piece right here and it's all attached in one. Sometimes people think this is like a laptop that comes with 3 monitors, but that's not the case. So then I'll get this one on. So again, same kind of thing. We've got this, these 2 clips right here. Don't hold the monitor by those clips. That doesn't look right. All right, I can work with this. I've been in worse places. All right, let's try to push through. Let's see if this can still run. You know what, guys? I think this monitor is broken. We're gonna keep moving forward here. Now I'm overheating. All right, so we've got the basic trading station here. We've got monitor 1, monitor 1, the main one here, and then monitor 2. So let's get into the software that I'm gonna run. Now, I'm gonna start with the trading software. So I'm gonna open up 2 platforms. I'm gonna open up TD Ameritrade, and I'm gonna open up Sterling. Now, the interesting thing with TD Ameritrade is that I actually think it's a really solid platform, but TDT enforces PDT. PDT rule, pattern day trader rule. So I'm not actually gonna use it for trading, but I will use it for its free charting because the charts are awesome. And with a small account, free charts, hey, that saves me some money. So I'm gonna pop up TD Ameritrade, I'm gonna use it for the free charts, and then I'm gonna open up Sterling, which is the platform that I'm gonna use for the trading. Now the interesting thing here was Sterling, and let me log in to both of these real quick. All right, so now I've got both the layouts up on my screen. So back to the screen, we've got Sterling on the left and we've got TD Ameritrade on the right. Now, the reason I'm gonna use Sterling is because this is broker agnostic. In other words, you can use Sterling Trader platform with dozens of different brokers. which means you can shop around to the broker that's best suited for you right now. And that's why I use this platform. Now, this is actually the Warrior Sim. It's a simulator that is on the Sterling platform. So I have a license agreement with Sterling, so I can use this for any of my students for simulated trading. So like APDN, I can pull this stock up. This is a stock that we were trading today. So let's just say I want to go short 1,000 shares. I can just hit the short button, and now just like that, I'm short 1,000 shares. All right, so I'll kind of walk you through this platform in 1 second, and then let me just show you TD Ameritrade. So on the right side of my screen, I've got TD Ameritrade. Now, I use this for trading today, but what I'm gonna use it for during the small account challenge is charting. So I'm gonna click this C, and then I can actually hide the active trader just like that. And now I can set up my charts right here. Again, the advantage of using TD Ameritrade for charting is that they've got fantastic charts, and you get real-time data free once you set up an account, even if you only set it up with like 20 bucks. Now, it's possible in the future they'll change that, but that's the case right now. So, you know, free charts, that's a big win. All right, so I've got APDN here up. This is the 5-minute chart right down below. So on TD Ameritrade, I'm not gonna use the active trader. I'm gonna use the charts right here. So I've got chart 1 and chart 2 right there. So I'm just gonna pull this down. Now the nice thing with TD Ameritrade, because you got free charts, you can use this platform as much as you want. If you want to take a couple trades in it, you can take a couple trades, but you're restricted by the PDT rule. So if I was doing a PDT trading challenge, I would use TD Ameritrade. I would just only be able to trade a few times a week, most likely. So I'm gonna put, let's see, up on the top here, I'm gonna set this up with, 1-minute chart today is great. So I can zoom in on whatever time of day I'm really focused on. And then down below, I've got the 5-minute chart. Now, I'd probably also set up a daily chart on this. So I could just kind of have the context of what's going on a daily time frame, maybe put that here over on the side. From a moving average perspective, I go super simple. I just do the 200 moving average on the daily chart. That's the only one that I think really matters. I use the exponential moving average. Intraday charts, VWAP is the most important thing, the volume weighted average price. The 9 moving average and the 20 are great on the 5-minute time frame, but they're not absolutely mandatory in my opinion. Keep it simple, that's what it's all about. So right here, I've got my layout for TD Ameritrade. And what I've done for you guys is I've given you a link where you can go download my layout. Now, I'm just gonna set up super basic charts, like nothing fancy, but you guys will be able to download it and check it out. Now, back here on the left-hand side, I've got APDN, so I'm short at 1302 right now. So, you know, we look at this chart here, kind of shorting a stock right above the VWAP. It's kind of a risky spot to be short. But in any case, the nice thing about this platform is that I can trade really, really quickly on it. Oops, let me cancel that. All right, so there we go. So there I'm zoomed in, and I'll go back here. So let's look at Sterling. So here, what I've done is I've set up hotkeys. And so what that means is that with the press of a button, I can be executing orders. All right, so I'm gonna go right here, I'm gonna press Shift 1. So Shift 1 just bought 1,000 shares. It covered my short position. I'll press Shift 1 a second time. And just like that, now I've bought 1,000 shares at 1330. I'll press it a third time here. And now I've bought another 1,000 shares at probably 1320. My average is 1326. Now, if I want to sell this, I can of course just type right in here, 1,000 shares, press the sell button, and like that, they're sold. Or I can press Control Z. So let me go into settings, and I'm gonna go down to hotkeys. So right here is where I've got all my hotkeys set up, and this is what you guys are gonna be able to download. You can download this layout. So you can start actually using the same tool that I'm gonna use for trading in this small account. So here we have Shift 1. This is my hotkey to buy 1,000 shares, 5 cents above the current ask. Here I have Shift 2, which will be to buy 2,000 shares. And here I'll have Shift 3 to buy 3,000 shares. Now at the beginning of the challenge, I'll probably actually bring these down to like 700 shares, 1,200 shares, and 1,800 shares or something like that, because I just won't be able to afford to buy 2,000 or 3,000 shares of pretty much anything that I'm gonna be looking at. But that's okay, I can trade with smaller size. Now my orders to sell. Control Z right here. This sells my full position. Quantity is the full open position. So it sells the whole position at the bid price, minus 5 cents, which means if I need to get out, I can get out quickly. So let's go through that again. Shift 1 buys 1,000 shares. All right, so I've got 1,000 shares there, 1390 or 1339. So I'm gonna go and press Control Z to sell it, Shift 1 to buy. Okay, so I'm in at 1301. Now if I press Shift 2, what happens? I'm gonna buy 2,000 shares. If I press Shift 3, I'm gonna buy 3,000, so now I've got 6,000 shares. If I press Control X, I'll sell half of my open position, and now I've got 3,000 shares I'm still holding. Control X again sells another half of the open position. Control X again sells another half of the open position. And just like that, I can trade the stock that quickly. Now, obviously, this is not the way you would want to be trading the stock with real money because I'm just losing money. But the fact that I can trade this quickly, this is what I need for the small account challenge. Because when I see an opportunity, I want to jump on it. I can't trade that quickly with TD Ameritrade. I've tried and I can't quite do it. Now, say I want to go short. I can press Alt 1. Alt 1, I'm short. So see like that, I'm shorting 100 shares. So let's go into view, we'll go to settings, and we'll go to hotkeys, and we'll change Alt 1 to 1,000 shares. Alt 1, 1,000 shares, 5 cents below the bid. Okay, that's fine. That seems to be working. 2,000 shares, 5 cents below the bid. 3,000 shares, 5 cents below the bid. Now, what I also have, Z, X, and C. When I press the Alt button, those are gonna get me out of the trade. All right, so if I press right now, Alt X, just like that, Alt X sells 500, covers 500. Alt X, another 250, Alt Z, I'm out of the position. So let's do that again. Alt 1, short 1,000. Now I can press, I have two options now. I could press Alt Z, and right now, go back to flat. Or I could go Alt 1, and then I could press Shift 1. Now I don't like doing that because if I go Alt 1 and I go short 3,000 shares, and then I press Shift 1 4 times, all of a sudden I've flipped directions. And I don't want that to happen with real money because that could cause me some unnecessary losses. And as you can see, the losses are stacking up on this stock, and that's because the spread is so big. The fact is, money can be made or lost in the market very quickly. I can make money if I'm really focused on great quality entries with minimal risk and great profit targets. And this is a stock today with real money over here that I made, well, these are my trades, over $5,000 on. I really crushed it on this stock. This is definitely the type of stock I would have been focusing on during the small account challenge, APDM. So I have my hotkeys set up for going long, for going short, for quickly getting in, for quickly getting out. That's exactly what I need with the Sterling platform. And I can use this with dozens of brokers. So I'll use it with my small account broker that I'm using for this challenge. And then when I go and I do a TD Ameritrade challenge or I do a different challenge, I can always use TD Ameritrade, for that. I'm just, of course, restricted by the PDT rule. All right, so now let's talk about the Craigslist stuff. Put a little hold on the trading platforms and all the trading tools. Now, when I was getting started, one of the things that I ended up having to do was start selling some of my things on Craigslist in order to set up my trading account because I had blown up my trading account. So I had to put more money back in, get myself back up into a condition where I could keep trading. And so I went through my barn at the time and I started looking for things that I could sell. And so I decided to do the same thing for this small account challenge. So I went through my garage and I was kind of going through things and I was asking myself, what do I need here and what can I just get rid of? And so, my old fish tank. Well, I don't have fish living in the fish tank right now. So that's one of those things that I can pop on Craigslist, I can make a listing for it, I could probably sell it for 25 bucks, maybe 50 bucks. Well, probably 25 bucks. And then I've got my skis. All right, now, many of you guys know I had a pretty traumatic ski injury where I lost consciousness and was trying to be the cool guy, the old guy going in the ski park. And anyways, I fell off a jump on my head, directly on my head. Lost consciousness, regained consciousness on the side of the ski slope, like kind of hitting myself. Who's hitting me? And it's my own hand, so that's never a good sign. Ski patrol came and they put me in the toboggan. They brought me down. I had to go get MRIs and stuff like that. And it took me a while. When I regained consciousness, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know I didn't know anything. I didn't know where I lived. I was a blank slate. It was like starting over. It was pretty beautiful. But in any case, since then, haven't really been inclined to do a lot of skiing. So the skis, pop those up on Craigslist. And then, it comes to those kind of big items, like my Mercedes. Now, this is the keychain right here from the Mercedes that I sold in order to put money back into my trading account. Now, I've got it on the key ring for my new Mercedes right now, but it would kind of be full circle if I sell my Mercedes. Been thinking about it a lot. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to sell the Mercedes. It's brought me a lot of joy. I've had a lot of fun with this car, but it's time to put it on the block. Let it go. So I'm going to make a listing for the Mercedes. Get that sold. I'll probably make, maybe like $200. Yeah, probably maybe 300. Well, I don't know. I don't really know what the market looks like for these kind of Mercedes right now. But I think probably between $200 $300. Maybe $200. So let's say $200 there. So now I've got 25 from the fish tank. I've got, I would say, at least $100 from the skis. Those were nice skis. I've got $200 there from my my Mercedes. Now, let's jump over and focus on TD Ameritrade for 1 second. And I'm going to kind of walk you guys through a couple things. So on TD Ameritrade, if I'm going to use it for active trading, I'm going to press this AT Active Trader button. AT is Active Trader. And I'm going to take away, let's say, that top chart right there. So what I can do on this is I can point and click. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch to on demand like that, because I don't want to trade real money. I don't want to have, I don't want to practice with real money and lose it. So I'm going to go now on demand, and just like that, I'm trading in Thinkorswim's simulator. So none of these trades are going to be real money. They don't contribute to my daily P&L. So if I want to buy this stock, could I press Shift 1? Well, I actually can. So what I've done is I've gone up here to the hotkeys, go to hotkey settings, hotkey, and I'm going to go to Shift 1 right here, and I have it set as buy at market. Buy at market. And what that means is it's going to send an order to buy based on whatever I've typed into this window right here. So in this case, I've typed in 1,000 shares. So it's going to execute my order for 1,000 shares. The only problem is it's a little clumsier because you got to make sure you type in the order that you want to be trading with before you actually press Shift 1. Now, when I want to sell, can I press Control Z? Yes, sort of. But the way it's set up right now is if I go to setup, I go to application settings, and I press Control Z, what it's actually going to do is it's going to sell, let's see, right here, it's going to sell at market. Again, it's just going to sell what I've got typed in here. So it doesn't allow me to sell a percentage of my position, which is going to be a little bit of an issue. It's going to slow me down. So what I probably will end up doing more of is actually clicking. So I'll click buy market. I'll click sell market. I mean, I could press the button, but since I have to take the time to type in my order already, I'm going to be right here in this spot. So that's probably what I'll do on the TD Ameritrade side when I'm using it for trading. Now for the small account challenge that I'm getting ready to start, I'm not going to be using it for trading. I'm only using it for charting, so I don't have to worry about that. However, there's no reason that you can't practice trading in it a little bit on the side, because when you start to generate enough profits, ultimately you may want to switch to a broker like TD Ameritrade that has free commissions, once you're above the PDT level, the $25,000 level. And then it's time to take this upstairs and let's start going through my closet. One of the things that I kind of have discovered is that you can buy a lot of cool old t-shirts, like this one here, on Etsy.com, vintage. I've got a lot of vintage clothes. Pop those on Etsy. I don't need to go to Craigslist for that. Those ones, they're gonna go on Etsy. And so what I gotta do is I gotta pick up each piece of clothing and I've got to ask me, does it bring me joy? So immediately, anything that's red, I can get rid of. I don't need any red clothing in my life right now. So red is gone. And, then I kind of meander over to my wife's section of the closet and I ask myself, are her shoes bringing me joy? I don't feel like they are. Got to list them on Craigslist. Maybe put them on Etsy, but I don't know if they're vintage. Maybe put them on eBay. I don't know. But I got to get rid of them because I got to raise that money for my starting capital for the new account. So the shoes, they've got to go. And then, of course, standing by my feet, I look at my dog June. And I ask myself that same question. Girl, you don't bring me joy anymore, so I have no choice but to get rid of you. All right, so now we've talked about Sterling and we've talked about charts. So we've talked about what I'm going to use for executing the trades, the Sterling platform, what I'm going to use for executing or for doing my charting. Now, how am I going to find stocks to trade? It's a great question. I'm glad you asked. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do something a little differently on this. I'm going to move this over here just like that. And I'm going to move this over here just like that. Okay, because I don't really need those right now. And I'm going to drag this down here. And this is what I'm going to use for idea generation. So you can see right here in the chat room, the scanners are built in. So you'll see all the stocks coming up that you need to see right in the chat room. And I'll see people typing, you know, hey guys, what's moving right now? And I'll get someone that'll give me an answer. How does APDN look? All right, and someone will type what's moving, what's been hot, etc. So that's what I'm gonna use for idea generation. Not only will I get the scanners right at the top, I'll get people chatting and commenting, you know, what's moving, what's looking good, and so on and so forth. Now, in the morning, when we've got peak attendance, there'll be a lot more people typing, there's a lot more activity. Later in the day, like right now, a lot of people end up taking their profit and hitting the road. The whole goal with trading is to be able to do more things that you love. So you trade for 1, maybe 2 hours a day, and then you get out of here, right? So in the morning, we might have 4,000 or 5,000 members that are all logging into the chat room. But here in the afternoon, well, there's only about 400 that are still hanging out in this chat room looking for opportunities. So I think I'm getting myself into pretty good shape, raising a lot of money here for the first account. And the reality is I only need 500 bucks. So I guess June has a little bit more time she can spend in the house, and I suppose a few of those other things I can keep around for a little while longer until I absolutely need the money for another challenge. And that's kind of a nice thing, being able to start with a small account. That's one of the things that I mentioned in a couple of my other videos. You don't want to start with a $25,000 trading account because the risk of making a mistake and it being potentially catastrophic. I mean, when we're looking at a stock, let's jump back over to the stocks here. APDN, I'm down $7,800 in the simulator trading this. So clearly, this stock was very volatile today, and you know, if I had been doing that with real money with a $25,000 account, my account could be down 30%. Now, if we jump over here to my TD account, this is an account that's up right now, just about $6,000 on the day. And I'll show you guys my, let's see, let me just show you. I've got $28,000 in this account, 28,000 bucks. So that means this account today is up like, you know, more than 20%. It's like 25% in one day. So when you have a big account, you don't really want to be using it until you are so confident that you can make 20, 30% in one day. A beginner trader with a big account, beginner trader with a, you know, big block American muscle car, you can get into some trouble really quickly, and you don't want that to happen. So start small, trade smart, make mistakes, let it humble you, let it remind you that, okay, I need to take this a little more seriously, and then the next time you set up a $500 account, you take it a little more seriously. Grow that account, prove that you're worth investing $25,000 into, and that money isn't better suited just sitting in mutual funds or something like that. Look at this thing. This is back up to $15. Wow. Well, I'm glad I didn't hold that short position. I wish I'd held a long position. So anyways, I'll flip gears on it, jump in long. So that's what you call FOMO. That's the fear of missing out when you pile into something, squeezing up. And let's see what happens with this. This might be one of those trades that rips up to 16, or it might be one of those trades that drops right back down to 14. And just like that, with a $25,000 account, you could be gone, done, out of the market. You don't want to empower any trade to ruin your career, potentially. It's just not worth it. The reality is a trade like this, 1644 on the ask, well, that could end up being a pretty nice win. But if it had gone the other direction, could I have afforded the loss? So many traders, they think about the win. No one complains when you have a big win, even if you're being totally risky, even if you're gambling, even if you're not following any of the rules of the market. People complain when they have the losses. So can you handle the risk associated with the trade? Starting with small size, it helps set a foundation for risk management because you simply cannot afford to make big mistakes. So today we've broken down some of the tools, and if you want my layout for Sterling or you want my layout for TD Ameritrade, click the link below in the description. You'll be able to download that. If you want to watch the video of me setting up a basic trading station and not shattering my monitor, well, you should check that out below. That's also in the link in the description. And I hope you guys have learned a little something about side hustles, making money, whether it's on Craigslist, eBay, it's on Etsy. I've sold things on Craigslist. I sold things on eBay to raise money when I was first getting started. I had a lot of things lying around the house that I didn't need. And the ability to live life on my own terms was more important than keeping that object, in my possession. And so I let things go. I sold things I didn't need. I set up my trading account and I haven't looked back. Now maybe you do a side hustle of working Uber or do a little work on Hire Riders or Upwork or something like that. There's lots of things that you guys can do today that just weren't available when I was getting started. So, and just like that, look, now I'm back down to red on the trade. So, that's the market. If you don't take the profit when you have it, you can give it back. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, episode 4. And if you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. I respond to every comment posted on my channel. All right, stay tuned for episode 5 coming next week. You want to learn more about trading? Check out some of the links in my description. And if you have questions, ask them in the comments. I personally respond to every question posted on my channel. And don't forget to subscribe.